It's very rare that I have anything positive to share about Nintendo. I've been a very outspoken and harsh critic of this company, not because I don't like the games. In fact, I think they make some of the most fun games ever produced, but the company itself is just run by out-of-touch dementors that love to suck the fun out of everything, going out of their way to be evil, shutting down Smash tournaments, spitting in the face of all of their fans, and they're just archaic. They're like 20 years late to everything. They're probably still learning what email is. I'll scream this from the mountaintops every chance I get. It is downright criminal that they're charging for the Nintendo Online service when it is unforgivably horrible. It's a joke. It's laughable. It's worse than dial-up, and you still have to pay for it. Point is, I have shit on Nintendo more times than a dog shits on the floor during potty training. But today, I have a very positive story to share about Nintendo, and more specifically, the Nintendo Switch. Recently, a child had been abducted by a predator, and thanks to a Nintendo Switch that the child brought, authorities were able to track her down and rescue her. I know Mutahar just posted a video about this story as well, but I couldn't help but talk about it too, given how harsh I've been on Nintendo in the past. I do want to highlight when they do some good things, like in this story. So what happened here is a 14-year-old girl met a 28-year-old man named Ethan Roberts on Omegle. The two started talking and eventually exchanged nudes, and Robert traveled 2,000 miles from Arizona to her hometown. Eventually, he kidnapped her, took her back to Arizona, and coerced her into meeting strangers on Omegle to sell them nudes via Snapchat. She was immediately reported missing by friends and family, and a large investigation took place trying to find her. They had boots on the ground looking for her throughout the area, putting up flyers, doing everything they can to try and find her, to no avail. Until one of her friends saw that she was online on her Nintendo Switch. She had booted it up to watch YouTube videos and download a game. So her friend alerted authorities, obviously, like, hey, she just logged in on Nintendo Switch. So the FBI pulled the Nintendo Switch's IP address after getting cooperation from Nintendo, so they subpoenaed the information. They had Nintendo fork over everything they had about the IP address of where the Switch was coming from, and the FBI was able to swoop in and save her from Ethan Roberts, the Omegle pedophile. Now, this is something that is mentioned in the article no one really even thought of, because someone's getting kidnapped, you're not really expecting them to have their phone or a fucking Nintendo Switch, a portable game console with them. But apparently what happened here is Ethan Roberts let her keep her Switch in order to stay entertained, and didn't realize that since it connects to Wi-Fi, it can be tracked easily. So one of her friends just noticed that she had logged in, like she was online, and was like, hey, this is definitely something interesting. I'll report it to the authorities here, and that's how they found her. Like, that shit must have been like the craziest revelation from her friend, like, oh wow, she's on her Switch right now. That shit must have been like in RuneScape when Zezima goes online and like everyone's eyes get like wide, like holy shit. Just the simple checking in the Nintendo Switch friends list saved her. And it's still just so baffling how this all unfolded. Super lucky, like very, very fortunate that she had her Switch, because most of the time in a kidnapping situation, they don't like have their phone or anything that has an internet connection, which makes it very difficult to find and save kidnapping victims. But in this case, she had a flare. She had like a perpetual bat signal that was just posted up with her location, but authorities didn't even think to check it. It was her friend that just happened to be on the Switch and saw she was online that noticed it. So that was a very lucky break that they took notice and reported it. I guess Ethan Roberts just assumed that since the Switch uses outdated hardware, that it can't be traced. The Nintendo Switch is locked to 30 FPS on games. It can hardly even play mobile games. I mean, there's no way it even connects to the internet. It's probably just a cup with string on it. It's so old and archaic. It doesn't even use real technology anymore. It's totally off the grid. No one's going to be able to trace a Switch. That's fine. Dude thought the Nintendo Switch was like some kind of encrypted device or something, I guess, or just the hardware was so old and obsolete that it was untraceable. I have no idea, but really fortunate that he allowed her to keep that Switch so she could be traced and saved here. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch connects to the internet, meaning it can easily be fucking traced. Now, Ethan Roberts has been indicted in federal court on multiple charges, including child pornography and transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and after a plea deal, he was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. Personally, I don't think 30 years is long enough. I believe that should have been an even harsher sentence, but I'm not the judge, I didn't swing the gavel. But overall, this is a big W both from the FBI and Nintendo here. Nintendo did directly cooperate, and the FBI did act very quickly, actually, all within 11 days. And Nintendo was very quick to cooperate. They gave all the information necessary in order to track the IP and save the child's life. So just wanted to give a little positive story about Nintendo doing a great thing here, and that's really about it. So yeah.